sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, their head coach has got to believe it in themselves. They've won 7 of their last 9 games now. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Come on, QB, come on.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And we look at this offense now, and Zach Martin will be important for this team today.
He's so good, Brandon, that you can play him at any position in the offensive line, and I think he's a Pro Bowl player at each spot.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
57's the mic. Rock 57. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Now Saquon Barkley. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. We'll look now at our starting defense. They enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
And the focus now is making sure that they're hitting on all cylinders as they head into the playoffs. And that means they've got to stop the run better because playoff football often means running football. So they've got to be prepared for that.
To throw on 3rd down. Harvey. And that is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll be put in the books as a 53. Football 1st and 10. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now, he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. They go play action now. Wilson. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 23 yards on the play.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Well, look now at our starting defense. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But, boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 22-yard line. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. He was going again for a noon one, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They go back to the ground now with Penny. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
His throw caught at about the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Anunwa, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the under pressure. Down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. Still a lot to be determined in terms of their final seeding. We do know they'll be in the playoffs, but in what shape, what capacity, we're not sure. But here, ready for a sports cliche, they just take them one game at a time, right?
And they have to. And look, the thing about cliches, they've been proven over time. All right, we know that. So, yes, take it one game at a time, but make sure that there's no let-up. No getting off the gas, right? No mental letdowns, because each one is important for them to accomplish their goals.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Harvey. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Barkley. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. The numbers for him from a week ago, 12 carries, 55 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Harvey. And his throw is incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And that'll make it 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 3rd down, Harvey. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, certainly it appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Seahawks on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Wilson. And he's got a noon one. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A very solid gain of 27. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. To throw is Wilson. That's caught by Penny. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And McManus able to put it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. For the moment, they're on top of their division, projected to host a wild card game in the first weekend, but nothing is set in stone. There's a lot of shuffling that can still go on here. They haven't even clinched a playoff berth.
A lot goes into that one word you use, doesn't it? But. You're exactly right, because nothing's clinched. So that means another win is necessary, being able to play to the best of their abilities, because they can go from where they are right now to right out of the playoff race. If things go in the wrong direction for them, they've got to take care of business. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
to throw on second down. Harvey. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 23 yards the pickup there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, Harvey. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. The toss out to Barkley. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Harvey completes it to Samuel. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way. They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
And able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made. The Seahawks 16. 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Looking to throw. Harvey, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Holding defense.
Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5 now. Wilson. And he will find his man on the outside. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Anunwa's got it. Complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Wilson has pass incomplete. Quincy Noon with the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing again here, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them
and this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. Here's Wilson, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he finds Penny. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our route.
To throw again is Wilson. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing is Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now it's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 17-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by McManus is good. And the lead extends. It's 15-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Get him, boys. Yeah, that's how
So we've reached halftime here. Charles has already thrown off his headset. He's out here. He says, it's Christmas Day. I'm going home. We're not done yet, though. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Happy holidays to you all at home as we take you around the NFL on this 25th day of December. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where you see the final score there. Christian Kirk leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. From there, we head up to Wisconsin to check out the Packers at home in Lambeau. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Got an open man, it's a noon one. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Check 31. Check 31.
Play action. Now Wilson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On second down, here's Penny. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 42.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson leaves it for Penny. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 27-yard line. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Penny, a first down carry. Penny hit, and the ball is jarred free. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
2nd and 4. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, They need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's where this crowd can really help make things difficult. It's 3rd and 3.
Hey, switch gears.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
You're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now. Last push to get into the playoffs.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Harvey being chased out left. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far, a big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game. Exactly the formula they need. I got to tell you something I said, it actually comes true. It's actually right.
You might think. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. On 1st and 10, Harvey forced out to his left. He's got the first down here inside the 30. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Back to throw. Harvey looking for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again. Harvey. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He's going to go up top for the end zone. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle His 6th touchdown of the season, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with fake praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover it.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Wilson. Right side, and that's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Here we go.
Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A little bit of daylight on that 1st down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. 8 yards on the pick. 2nd and short. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Again, it's Penny. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole sides. Had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Here's Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Now Wilson. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Now Sam out as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. So the victory here for Seattle, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Seahawks, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, it's a loss that could wind